Waiting for Hockney was the kind of story that I think every writer or filmmaker waits for, his or her own life. So in a way, you could say that I spent my life waiting for Hockney. It was the kind of story that, when presented to me, was nearly fully formed in terms of its characters. It had extraordinary characters with extraordinary lives. They were so vibrant, full of themselves, in the best possible sense of that term. They were eccentric. They wanted to be heard. They wanted to tell their stories. And together, they were such an ensemble of people that I could hardly believe that they were real. I was trained as a fiction writer, and so I always knew that whenever I did nonfiction, that character was absolutely essential to finding a real story. And the minute I met Billy Pappas, in particular, they say that character is fate, that old saw. Well, I wanted to know if Billy Pappas's character was indeed going to be his fate. When the story opened for me, when we began filming, I had absolutely no idea what the outcome of the film would be. More than anything, I had no idea what the outcome of Billy Pappas's story would be. I didn't know if he would fall on his face. I didn't know if this would be an endless project for me of watching somebody waiting, in the sense of waiting for Godot, waiting for something impossible to come and anoint you, waiting for God. I didn't know if we would wait forever. I didn't know if Billy Pappas would face incredible success. I didn't know also what that would do, what any of this would do to his family, to the people around him, and what his story meant. There was something really powerful to me about someone who believed so fundamentally and so powerfully in himself and in his vision that he was willing to take any risk, any cost, in order to see it through. I wondered if I was the same kind of person. Sometimes I felt when making the film, I was that person. And then there were other times when I realized that Billy Pappas was much braver, far more courageous than ever I would be. He took it all the way. I may have finished waiting for Hockney, but Billy Pappas's story, it goes on and on. That's what's sort of beautiful about this story. We take a moment in time, a long moment in time when you think about it, the 10 years that Billy Pappas waited and wondered. And we watch him during a period of time that's really key. And then we stop watching him. And then the story goes on without us. So the film captures, between two parentheses, Billy's waiting. But there still is this other story out there of, well, what in the heck is going to happen to Billy Pappas now? What I loved also about making the film was this complicated relationship that I had with Billy. It was tempestuous, it was tormented, it was full of joy, and it was one of the most amazing and horrifying experiences I've ever had in getting that intimate with someone who's really not an intimate, having the story be so powerful that it crept over into my life, crept over into my own life, and it fell into my dreams, and it wove itself, and he wove himself into my world. And it was almost as if he lived in my living room, that he sat at the table with my husband and with my 2 daughters, and that he went to sleep with us at night, which wasn't always the most comfortable thing in the world. But I felt like I knew his brain sometimes, and I felt like he had given me this tremendous gift to allow me to try to understand him, to open himself up, at least for a period of time, and say, come on in and try to see what my brain works like, and come and watch my story unfold. So it was an incredible gift. And also just just really one of the highlight experiences of my life to date. So I'm really grateful for it.